This is the Bringing Business to Retail podcast, and today we're talking all about how you can cash in on the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend.
Welcome to the Bringing Business to Retail podcast on SelenaKnight.com. Stay ahead of the competition by opening your doors to business experts so you can learn, grow, and be inspired. Passionate about bringing business strategies to independent retailers, please welcome your host, Selena Knight.
Hey there, and welcome to today's episode of the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. I'm sitting here in my office recording this episode surrounded by a lot of stuff. I mean, if I look to my left, I see a toilet. It's brand new. It's okay. It's brand new, straight out of the box. I see my plant, which is awesome. I see a photo. I have my video shoot set up behind me. I have tiles. I have taps. I have the grate that goes in the floor in a bathroom, because as we speak, I am renovating our bathroom. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with what I have managed to achieve, because when you are project managing a building site, there are so many pieces of the puzzle that you have to fit together. And essentially, this is why you have a builder. You pay a builder, not necessarily to build, but to organize all of the trades. But our builder wasn't available when I needed him. So I said, you know what? I will do this. And I have to say that I have really kicked ass when it comes to getting this thing sorted. I have managed to line up tilers, electricians, waterproofers, gyprockers, builders, and plumbers to all, and I have to say there's probably a lot of luck here as well, but to all fall into place so that within 10 days, my bathroom will be finished. And that is an amazing feat, because we are now 6 days in to not having an upstairs bathroom, and our bedroom is upstairs, and I really miss my bath. That is my time out every single day. I fill the bath and I just take 25 minutes out of my day when nobody comes in, because we have a downstairs bathroom. Nobody comes in. I have my iPad. Sometimes I'll flick through Pinterest. Sometimes I'll read my book. Sometimes I'll do some shopping on Amazon or shopping on some other sites. It's just me time, and nobody is allowed in the bathroom when I am in the bath. So not having that little bit of 25 minutes out of my day, my body is really starting to get like really itchy, saying, where's my bath? Where's my bath? Where's my bath? And even though I'm happy to have a shower, the whole routine of having a bath is, I think, what I actually crave. And I'm so looking forward to probably this time next week being able to sit in my beautiful new freestanding bath in my beautiful new bathroom. Because if you heard me a few episodes ago talking about how we renovated our laundry, for the last 13 years, our laundry was literally an old table with a basin and a washing machine. Nothing else apart from a whole bunch of stuff. So now we have a laundry, and it's my turn to have the bathroom, because probably for about the last 10 years, the bathroom has been in a pretty sad state of repair. I mean, there were tiles falling off the wall. We had a shaving cabinet just bolted to the wall. The only redeeming quality was, one, the very small bath, and I had to have either my top half out or my bottom half out, and the gorgeous natural light. So needless to say, I have done a lot of shopping in the last few weeks. From tapware to tiles, from underfloor heating to skylights, you name it, I've probably searched for it and bought it. In fact, I was so impressed with one tile company, I've actually convinced them to come on the podcast. So that's going to be probably another 6 or 8 weeks out, but stay tuned and keep an ear out, because they have done an amazing job with their social media. So much so, it caused me to buy from them. And to boot, they are just super lovely people. So stay tuned for that episode. But today's episode is all about the Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend. And that weekend is really fast approaching. This year in 2019, it's going to happen on Friday the 29th of November. And essentially, it is the big kickoff into the holiday sales rush. So if you're listening to this episode when it goes live to air, you've probably got about 7 weeks to get yourself sorted. In the next couple of weeks, my one-on-one clients have to finalize what their last quarter marketing and advertising plan looks like. Even though we've just started October, the fact is, if you don't know what you're going to be marketing and advertising and when, it's highly likely that you aren't going to be turning over your maximum revenue. And you know me, I hate losing money, especially when it can be easily avoided just by putting a little bit of time and thought into a program. Now, this is because when you don't have a plan in place, you're highly likely to run out of stock, or alternatively, you'll end up with an oversupply of the wrong inventory. Either way, it is money down the drain. And I do not want you to lose any money over the holiday period. I want you to be making moolah. Now, for most retail businesses, the period between October and January is when they make the vast majority of their cash flow. Now, I don't know if you have sat down to work this out, but I have multiple clients who do 70% of their turnover in that last quarter, in the 3 months between sort of middle of October to the middle of January. So October, November, December, and a little bit of January. So 3 and a bit months. And if you are relying on that money to boost your bank account, like these businesses that I work with are, you want to do everything possible to get the highest amount of revenue and give the best customer experience, right? I mean, it's all good and well to make money, but at the end of the day, as independent retailers, we have this key differentiator, which means we can serve our customers super well. Now, Black Friday and Cyber Monday account for a massive amount of money moving from consumer to retailer. In 2017, Adobe Analytics reported that American consumers spent, wait for it, are you ready? $19.62 billion, yes, that's billion with a B, dollars, online over the 5-day period, which from Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday. That is redonkulous. Nearly $20 billion in America alone over 5 days. Now that was up 15% from the previous year. So a massive $2.6 billion. And this was 2017, not even 2018. But it is not all about online. During this time, 58 million people, this is in the US, remember, 58 million people shopped online versus 51 million in store. So there is plenty of pieces of the cash flow pie to go around, no matter what or how or where you sell. The thing is, if you are not capitalizing on this event, there is a very good chance that you are losing out to your competitors. Well, how do I know that? Well, you know I love a good statistic, right? And according to Sales Cycle, 91% of UK retailers and 86% of US retailers took part in the cyber weekend in 2017. So you can see, right? If you are not in that, if you are in that tiny 13% of US retailers who didn't take part, you are losing money to your competitors. But here is the kicker. With an average spend of around $413 per person in 2018, and that was up from $330 in 2017. That is a huge amount of increase, nearly $100 more between 2017 and 2018. You can see that by creating a Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaign, you can seriously boost your revenue in the lead up to the holiday rush. I mean, let's just put this in perspective, shall we? If you have a modest 5,000 people in your customer database, and just 20% of those people, if those 20% spent that average of $413 with you, are you doing the math in your head? That is a whopping $413,000 in 5 days. Now, if just 10% of those people spent that money with you, that's still over $200,000 in just 5 days. So you can see, right, why I'm super excited that you take this concept on board and see whether it works for you or not. Because customers in 2019, they are expecting their favorite retailers to jump on board. So in this episode, I'm going to show you what discounts customers are looking for, the products that sell the most, and how to make sure that you can maximize cash flow in this revenue boosting long weekend. Sound good? Now, because we only have limited time today, if you want more strategies than what I'm going to share with you on the podcast that are guaranteed to boost your sales over the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, I have put all of this and more into a super easy download for you. It's free and you can grab it over at selenaknight.com/BFCM. So BF for Black Friday, CM for Cyber Monday. In 2018, Deloitte predicted that consumers would spend $1,536 each over the entire holiday season. This is in the US, okay? Now, with 413 of those dollars spent during that cyber weekend, which is essentially the kickoff to the sales holiday rush, you can see that consumers are spending less than a third of their holiday spending budget during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And why is this important? Well, first of all, it indicates that there is a huge potential for customers to spend more money, especially if they're going to jump into that Christmas shopping mindset. Now, according to Statista, and you know I love a good stat, so I always love to throw them in, around 42% of customers surveyed throughout Black Friday and Cyber Monday said it was a great way to start their Christmas shopping. But 39% shopped simply because it was a tradition. I mean, heck, who doesn't love customers who shop just because they should? And the NRF reported that almost half of the consumers did less than 25% of their gift shopping over Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So overall, customers have more than half of their planned shopping left to do. This is huge. It basically means your customers aren't spending on Black Friday, Cyber Monday for their friends and family. They're spending it on themselves. Yay! And you know what? They're more than happy to spend. So, are you ready to jump into the ways that you can cash in on this sales boosting weekend? Yeah? Alrighty, here we go. Tip number 1. And believe it or not, I'm going to tell you because I never ever promote discounting. So you're probably thinking, but Sal, you're always saying don't discount. Why are you telling me to jump on the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend? Well, the fact is, I don't want you to miss out on cash. So tip number 1 is to start early. And there are a few reasons that I would advise you to start early. Firstly, because I'm a bit of a tightwad, paid advertising is super expensive in the 5-day Black Friday to Cyber Monday period. I mean, Facebook and Instagram and Google, they know that everybody wants to sell their awesome offers. So the prices go up, which means for you, getting in early means cheaper ad costs, cheaper customer acquisition costs, cheaper cost per sale. Yay! Secondly, you can capture your customer's spending budget before the big stores and, of course, your competitors do. And I've actually seen that Amazon started early last year. So they are onto this. They know that if they can get you spending first, they're going to get the most amount of that $413 from you. And lastly, driving customers in-store or to your website is hard enough at the best of times. If you have a great big advertisement that you're going to be offering Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals, you might just get customers holding off purchasing and potentially forgetting to come back. I mean, at the end of the day, if they're shopping and your competitors' ads come up because your competitors are spending more money, you may well lose that customer. So starting early means that you get to capitalize on the Black Friday, Cyber Monday rush, allowing your customers to feel like they scored an awesome deal before everybody else. And happy customers spend more, they tell their friends, and they come back again and again. Now, tip number 2 is really important. It's about what it is you're actually going to sell. And that is to have specific deals. You're probably wondering what exactly you should be selling during this cyber weekend, right? And how much do you need to be discounting in order to get a sale? 2 super important questions that any retailer worth their salt will be asking themselves. So here's the goss. In 2017, mobile phones ranked high, as did most tech products. So if you're in the tech industry, you've got a pretty good chance of raking in the sales. But if you're not in the tech space, don't worry. Clothing has often been a top draw card for shoppers, with teen clothing and designer clothing topping the list. Now, these Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales see an average of 35 to 40% off the clothing range, from sweaters to shoes. But one of the most popular items in recent years has been pajamas. So whilst many shoppers may not make the trek out to an online store for pajamas, a lot of shoppers are in their pajamas and picking them up on that Cyber Monday, Black Friday weekend. Who would have thought, right? So that was really interesting, because I have always cultivated this stat, which I've learned from many researchers, that it usually takes about a 30% discount to push consumers over the line to buy. So if they weren't really going to buy, 30% is the amount that actually goes, yeah, I'll just get it, it's on sale. So while many products over the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend will see savings of between 20 and 60%, the average savings on Black Friday is 37%. Got that down? You write that down? Now, I know that many of you might be thinking, but Sal, that is almost my entire margin. We are going to talk about that just a little bit later, I promise. Before we get to that, I want to stress tip number 3, which is to build your database. In that download that I mentioned earlier, which you can grab over at selenaknight.com/BFCM, so Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I've given you a few ways that you can use the Cyber Weekend to grow your database. Now, let's remember that the Cyber Weekend is the kickoff to the holiday sales rush. And the more people you have on your database, the cheaper your advertising is going to be. Now, if you have already paid the money to acquire your customers' details, this is the time when you are going to maximize that return on investment. Do I need to say this again? The Cyber Weekend and the holiday rush is when you are going to maximize your return on investment for the money that you have paid to get customers on your database. Hopefully, if I say it twice, it'll sink in. Now, Salesforce reported that retailers sent, and you're totally going to freak out with this stat, but over the Cyber Weekend, retailers sent out 3.5 billion, with a B, emails. Hold on. 3.5 billion emails on Black Friday alone. I just reread my notes. And then another 4.1 billion emails on Cyber Monday. And that was an increase of around 500 million emails from the year before. So what does all of that mean, apart from the fact that our inboxes are going to be overflowing? It says that it is clear that customers are used to getting an influx of offers during this period. So don't be afraid to send way more emails than you normally would. I'm talking 2, 3, 4 emails a day. If you are worried about your customer database diminishing, you can totally counteract this by having a custom unsubscribe link in your emails that only removes them from the Black Friday, Cyber Monday email sequences. And once your email scheduling returns to normal, you'll be straight back in their inbox. This is just really basic segmenting that we do with all of our clients, and it's super easy to put in place, especially if you're working with our favorite system, which is Klaviyo. So in a nutshell, tip number 3 is send a bunch of emails and make sure you're building your customer database. And tip number 4 is don't let it finish on the Cyber Weekend. Remember I said earlier that almost half of consumers did less than 25% of their gift shopping over Black Friday and Cyber Monday? And overall, consumers have more than half of their planned shopping left to do? Well, that in a nutshell says that customers in the very short time frame after the Cyber Weekend are open to spending. In fact, they have thousands of dollars left to spend on their friends and family for the holiday season. So how are you going to do this? Well, first of all, thanks to tip 3, you built your customer database and you're going to be really happy sending out emails. But according to Sprout Social, retailers received an average of 92% of an increase in their social messages per day over November and December versus the rest of the year. So you have to be out there on all of the channels, making sure that your customers know what your offers are, what you're selling and how long you're selling it for, and when those offers are going to end. Make sure that you are telling them through email and through social media what it is that you have to offer. Now, earlier on, I said that the average discount for the Cyber Weekend was between 20 and 60%, with the average Black Friday special being around about 37%. And I know for a lot of you, personally for me in my own store, this is probably close to your entire profit margin. So if that's the case, you're essentially thinking, Sal, there's pretty much no point in me contributing to the Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend because I'm going to be selling for the sake of no return. And that's just way too much energy for no cash. And this, my friends, is where strategy comes in. Remember right back at the beginning of this episode, around about 20 minutes ago, I mentioned that my one-on-one clients are finalizing their holiday season marketing plans. Well, this is why. Black Friday shouldn't be about getting rid of old stock that doesn't normally move. But of course, a savvy retailer will know what products can be cross-sold and upsold to give the most value to the customer and make the most of aging inventory. But I don't want you to use Black Friday just to offload all that crappy stock. Really, that's not going to get your customers fired up. I mean, customers want awesome deals, right? Awesome deals on fast selling products, the stuff that they were normally going to buy, but this is pushing them over the line to buy right now. So, in order to maximize returns, it is important for you to take a step back and actually develop your marketing plan and then work with your suppliers to find a win-win solution. And just as importantly, to understand how your customers shop. So during that Cyber Weekend, Adobe found that around 60% of online purchases were made on a desktop. And I have to say, for me, I much prefer checking out on my laptop. And that is quite simply because I have big fingers and sometimes I cannot be bothered to type my name and address into my tiny little phone. So if you're like me, and clearly 60% of the population are, then you know that your customers are going to be purchasing the vast majority of their products online via a desktop or a laptop, followed by their smartphone at 30% and 10% on a tablet. So I actually found in my stores that the highest selling products online were very, very different from those that sold well in store. So that means that you need to sit back and map out what your customers buy, where they buy it, and how they buy it so that you can maximize your return during the holiday period. Now, this means negotiating offers with your suppliers. It means actually taking a bit of effort and forecasting your stock levels, compiling bundles of complementary products, and digging deep into the data to find out what, when, and where products are going to give you the greatest return during the Cyber Weekend and the holiday rush. Okay, so now it's over to you. What are those key offers that you are going to promote over the holiday season? What marketing strategies are you going to implement to get the maximum ROI? If all of this is feeling a little bit overwhelming and you think, I just really need some help with this to move your business forward and to prioritize and streamline successful promotions and sales, if you think having a step-by-step system on how to create high-converting sales, the foolproof way to work out how much money you should be spending on your advertising campaigns, think about what that could do for your business or for your life. No last-minute ad hoc campaigns that fall short on your revenue goals and stress you and your team out. Instead, being able to plan, knowing that you have the stock, the amount that you actually need to sell, and even the exact email copy just to be able to cut and paste, it would make life pretty easy, right? You could pay a copywriter hundreds of dollars to write those emails for you, or you could work with a strategist like me for thousands of dollars, or you could just have it all wrapped up in a nice bow for less than $200. And I call it the ultimate sales and promotions creator. So if you're interested in seeing how the creator might help, if that's the kind of thing that you think would make your life easier, check it out over at selenaknight.com/UPC. Okay, so that wraps up this episode. I hope you found it super helpful, and that if you've been considering Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales, or if you've had a sale in the past that didn't quite get the results that you were hoping for, that these strategies can help you. Putting the time aside to plan is going to make a huge difference in the success and the return on investment that you have, no matter what sale you are putting in place. And remember, you can get that free guide, the 7 retail strategies guaranteed to boost sales, over at selenaknight.com/BFCM. And you can check out the Ultimate Promotions Creator over at selenaknight.com/UPC. That's it for today's episode. I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Until then, be profitable. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. You can find all of the show notes over at selenaknight.com. If you found something that you heard today particularly useful, I'd love it if you could leave me a review on iTunes or Stitcher. And of course, feel free to share this episode with someone that you think could benefit by listening to it. Want more retail biz strategies? You can watch the Bringing Business to Retail TV show, where each week I'll answer a question or provide you with a simple, actionable retail biz strategy that you can implement in your business right away. If you have a question or a guest, I'd love to hear from you. Drop my team an email at podcast@selenaknight.com, and I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great week.